This is New York's #1 news, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, with Ken Rosado and Shirlene Allicott, Heather O'Rourke with traffic, and Bill Evans with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News this morning.
Breaking detail this morning in the Florida school massacre. Heartbreak, tears, and anger after more than a dozen people were killed. New video of chaos inside the school.
Hands, put your hands up. Please. Let's go!
It still almost feels like a drill, you know. It's just surreal.
Valentine's Day, everyone was happy, spreading love, and it just crashed down so quick.
Overnight, the FBI at the home of the suspect where he lived recently, and now lawmakers are reacting as another fierce fight begins over gun control. Good morning, I'm Ken Rosado.
And I'm Shirlene Allicott. It is Thursday, February 15th, and here is the very latest information at this hour.
At least 17 people are known to be dead. The gunfire erupting just before school let out at 3 p.m. This is the 18th school shooting so far this year. It's only February. It is the deadliest shooting at a school since the massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary in 2012.
The alleged gunman, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz. He was expelled from school last year for disciplinary reasons. He had an AR-15 rifle, gas mask, and smoke grenade, and he concealed himself in the crowd when students were running out.
Eyewitness News reporter Josh Hanniger traveled to Parkland, Florida last night. It is just north of Fort Lauderdale.
And before we get to Josh's report, though, we do want to get you caught up with weather and traffic.
Meteorologist Bill Evans in the AccuWeather Center. Bill?
Well, this morning we're going to be looking at showers that are exiting out to the east. A couple of little leftover showers there. You see all the radars are fired up this morning. We're looking at temperatures of 47 around Park Slope, 44 Sheepshead Bay, 42 Jamaica Queens to Bayside, and we're looking at 46 down the Jersey Shore. Visibilities are low in spots. White Plains 1.5 miles. You might have a delay there at the airport. So check with your air carrier. 1.7 miles at Bridgeport to Poughkeepsie here. So 3/10 around Monticello. Warm air is the reason why we have the fog. It'll be surging up and over us today. Temperatures in the 50s to 60 by afternoon, maybe even 63. Way warm, 21 degrees warmer than normal. We got rain coming in for tonight. That's AccuWeather. Here's AccuHeather with a look at your commute. How's it going?
We are looking at this, and this is the Belt Parkway, actually the Van Wyck Expressway getting into the Belt Parkway. Right over here, we had an accident clearing. It just got cleared away as we were talking here. So that's all gone now. Southbound side of the Van Wyck, right near the Belt Parkway, accident cleared away. Going on to the Cross Bronx East at Westchester Avenue, that is an accident, and it's 10 minutes across the board at our Hudson River crossings. Ferries, no major problems there. 70 right near Route 88, that's emergency construction. There's a gas main break, so crews are out there trying to repair that. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. Ken, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Heather. It's 6:02. Now back to our coverage of the Florida school massacre. New developments overnight, and we're just getting in new video of the suspect. Eyewitness
News reporter Josh Heiniger joins us live in Parkland, Florida with more. Josh.
Shirlene, Ken, good morning. There's an eerie silence this morning around the high school that has become a blood-soaked crime scene. This, as we now get our first look, as you said, of the suspect being booked into the jail in Broward County. We could show you video just from within the last hour as 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz arrived at jail. He actually appeared to glare at the cameras. There's been a non-stop overnight effort by detectives, by federal investigators, trying to piece together a motive behind this rampage yesterday. It was deafening. Oh my God! Unrelenting. Terrifying. A methodically planned mass murder, authorities say, at the hands of 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, a former student at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, who donned a gas mask and set off smoke bombs, a diversion to smoke out his prey, armed with an AR-15 assault rifle and countless magazines.
A lot of us thought it was just the drill that was happening because they didn't sound like gunshots or anything. So for about 20 minutes when we were in the closet, we didn't realize it was an actual shooter.
The only thing more terrifying than the rampage, the fact that these images are all so familiar. As SWAT cops stormed in, police say Cruz slipped out of the school, blending in with other kids. But less than an hour later, deputies found him and took him down. Overnight, federal agents searched the home where Cruz last lived, looking for clues into what led up to the high school bloodbath. He was expelled from the school for disciplinary reasons last year after sources say he was caught with bullet fragments in his backpack. This morning, Cruz is alive and in custody, accused in the deadliest school shooting since Sandy Hook. My prayers and condolences, tweeted President Trump, to the families of the victims of the terrible Florida shooting. No child, teacher, or anyone else should ever feel unsafe in an American school.
You see it when it happens in other places, but when it's your backyard, when it's your child that's hiding, it's just a little different.
Obviously, there will be no school for the rest of the week, at least as the investigation continues here at the scene. Students planning to gather this afternoon at 2:35 to light candles. That's the moment the first shots rang out. And we're live in Parkland, Florida this morning. Josh Einiger, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Josh, thank you. And the massacre sparking yet another debate about gun control in America. Take a look at the covers of the New York Post and the Daily News. The headlines, quote, how many times, and, quote, this is us. Lawmakers reacting overnight. Eyewitness News reporter Candace McCowan joins us here now as gun control takes center stage in Washington. Candace.
Ken, good morning. While the school superintendent says they didn't have any warnings, we're hearing from others that there were indeed warning signs, including threats against students and posts on the suspect's social media page. And of course, now the questions as to how he got his hands on that gun. It didn't take long after students were seen running from that school for their lives, from that Florida school, that many were calling for gun control. The topic was avoided by many Republican lawmakers, but Democrats didn't hold back. The deadly school shooting in Florida is the 18th school shooting this year and one of the top 5 deadliest, according to Everytown for Gun Safety, a nonprofit that advocates for gun control and against gun violence.
While people who are the victim of mental health illnesses in this country are being treated, in the opinion of this sheriff, they should not be able to buy, surround themselves, purchase, or carry a handgun. Those two things don't mix.
This epidemic of mass slaughter, this scourge of school shooting after school shooting. It only happens here not because of coincidence, not because of bad luck, but as a consequence of our inaction.
Well, coming up in 30 minutes, hear from a teacher who was inside that school and who says that lawmakers failed to protect students. In the studio this morning, Candace McCowan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Candace, thank you. And you can find more about the suspect's background at ABC7NY and on our free news app. GMA also will have extensive reporting ahead at 7 a.m.
This morning, the driver of a stolen car remains in the hospital after sparking a chain reaction crash that left 5 people dead. 2 suspects were in that car that was speeding in Ridge, Suffolk County yesterday. Police say Jamal Turner was driving, crashed into a Mazda, and then hit an oil truck. That Mazda hit another car. In the process, the Mazda erupted into flames as a result, killing 4 people inside. The second person inside the stolen car was ejected and killed. Loretta Burns helped one of the victims.
She said she was just driving. A car careened over into her lane. Somehow she got hit in the back, and the car flipped and went on fire.
The identities of the victims in the Mazda are being withheld. Turner is now under arrest and facing several charges.
6:08, we're learning new details about the 2 thieves who threatened a 13-year-old boy with a taser and stole his expensive bicycle. The 2 suspects now linked to another crime. Police say the duo stole the young boy's bike in the schoolyard of IS 234 in Sheepshead Bay Monday. And they say the same thieves also stole an 18-year-old's jacket that same day, a couple of blocks away. 6:08, a verdict expected today in the murder trial of an NYPD sergeant. He's accused of killing a mentally ill woman in the Bronx. Eyewitness News reporter Derek Waller live in the Melrose section. Derek.
Ken, we're talking about a police officer charged with second-degree murder. It hasn't happened in nearly 20 years in the city, and that is why police are about to close East 161st Street here in front of Bronx Criminal Court. They're expecting heavy reaction from the media and from the public when that verdict is read later on. Officer Hugh Berry choosing to have a bench trial, no jury. Closing arguments were yesterday. Prosecutors arguing the 2016 shooting death of 66-year-old Deborah Danner, who was schizophrenic, was was murder. They say Barry ignored protocols on how to deal with emotionally disturbed persons. But the defense says Barry feared for his life when the woman picked up a baseball bat in her bedroom and took a step forward. Instead of using a taser, the 32-year-old officer picked up his gun and fired twice.
At the end of the day, holding a baseball bat in a threatening motion justifies deadly physical force. And that's what this case comes down to.
A 66-year-old schizophrenic woman with a stick is not a threat. Let's remove titles. Let's not make this about black and white. Let's not make this about cop and suspect. Let's make this about human beings.
Judge Robert Neary's verdict expected sometime later this morning. We're live here in the Melrose section of the Bronx. I'm Derek Waller, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Derek, thank you. Notorious Mexican drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman will be back in front of a judge this morning in Brooklyn. A pretrial hearing will be held today in federal court. This comes after a judge ruled jurors in the upcoming trial against El Chapo will be anonymous. The federal judge says this is to protect the privacy of these jurors because of Guzman's history of violence.
It is 6:10. You're never more than 7 minutes away from weather and traffic.
Meteorologist Bill Evans outside our studios on the Upper West Side. Hi, Bill.
Well, good morning. Good morning, Charlene. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. There's a little breeze out here this morning, but the temperatures are mild. The light coat ought to do it for you this morning. As temperatures by afternoon are going to warm up some 22 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. 47 right now. We got a little fog, and it's about 41 at Ronkonkoma, 42 at Comac, and Massapequa. And then up to the north, it's around 39. So we'll warm up pretty fast today. We'll get sunshine through these clouds. The last little rain showers are pushed east of Long Island and hadn't gone out. So today we're at 55 by lunch, and we hit 63 this afternoon. But it's going to get colder, and we've got some snow on the way. We'll talk about that next. Heather O'Rourke is looking at your commute right now. How's it going out there?
Well, we'll look at the traffic right in front of LaGuardia Airport. If you are flying out of LaGuardia, going to pick somebody up, make sure you check with the flight. Here is a look at the Grand Central Parkway going westbound. Not a bad ride for you there. Now, let's head over here and talk to you about what was going on the Van Wyck Expressway south of the Belt Parkway. That earlier accident has been cleared away. And then the Cross Bronx Expressway east at Westchester Avenue. Just a little bit of a delay getting into that spot. It looks like that accident may have been cleared away. We'll keep our eye on that. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. Ken, over to you.
Thank you, Heather. It is 6:11. New information about a big reward being offered for the murder of a husband and wife in Brooklyn. Also had a new accuser coming forward against actor Scott Baio, the former Charles in Charge co-star, opening up. And a blockbuster premiere, Black Panther, blasting into theaters tonight. How much money could it make? Stay with us.